On the edge of a quiet village, where golden sunlight kissed the fields and a gentle breeze carried the scent of wildflowers, lived Zion, a boy filled with endless curiosity. With his wooden toy in hand, he often wondered about the world beyond the hills. But little did he know, his greatest adventure would begin right at home. Zion's father, Arman, was a man of quiet wisdom and boundless love. He often joined Zion under the old tree, sharing stories from a book he had cherished since his youth. Today, however, there was something different in Arman's eyes, a glimmer of mystery, as if he held a secret waiting to be revealed. Zion leaned closer, curiosity sparkling in his eyes. "Baba, why do you always read that same book?" he asked. Arman closed the book gently, his smile growing. "Because, my son, this book holds a secret about our family and your destiny." Arman placed the book in Zion's hands, its leather cover soft from years of use. "This is no ordinary book," Arman said. "Inside, you will find stories of courage, love, and magic. Stories that are part of our family's legacy." Zion's fingers traced the embossed patterns on the cover, feeling the weight of something extraordinary. As Zion opened the book, a soft golden light spilled from its pages, illuminating the world around him. "What is this?" he whispered in awe. Arman chuckled softly. "It's the beginning of your journey, Zion. The book will show you what you need to see and guide you to where you need to go." With the book's light growing stronger, a swirling golden portal appeared before them, shimmering like a doorway to another world. "Where does it lead?" Zion asked, his voice trembling with excitement. Arman placed a reassuring hand on his son's shoulder. "To a place where you'll discover just how strong and brave you truly are." Zion took a deep breath and stepped forward, his heart pounding like a drum. The portal pulsed with energy, filling the air with a magical hum. Arman's voice followed him as he stepped closer. "Remember, my son, no matter where you go, I'll always be with you, in your heart and your courage." As Zion stepped into the portal, the world around him blurred into a swirl of golden light and sparkling magic. He turned to glance back one last time, catching his father's proud smile. In that moment, he knew, no matter what lay ahead, his father's love would guide him. Zion tumbled into a realm unlike anything he had ever imagined. Floating islands hovered in the air, connected by glowing bridges. Strange plants glowed with an inner light, and the sky shimmered with colors that danced like waves. "Is this real?" Zion whispered, gripping the book tightly. The journey had only just begun. Zion stepped onto the glowing bridge, each step lighting up with soft golden hues. Ahead, magical creatures resembling deer with antlers that shimmered like crystal watched him curiously. Their eyes sparkled with intelligence, and one stepped forward, bowing slightly as if inviting him onward. "I think they know I'm here for a reason," Zion thought, his heart racing with anticipation. Kneeling slowly, Zion extended a hand toward the magical deer. Its shimmering antlers glowed softly as it stepped closer, nuzzling his hand with surprising warmth. "You're not just creatures, are you?" Zion whispered, sensing an unspoken connection. The deer's eyes seemed to convey an unspoken message. Trust the path ahead. With the magical deer gracefully by his side, Zion ventured deeper into the glowing forest. The air buzzed with enchantment, every step alive with a subtle, magical hum. And there it was, just visible through the shimmering vines, a distant ancient temple, mysterious and majestic. "This must be where the book is leading me," Zion whispered, his voice steady with resolve and a flicker of excitement in his eyes. Zion stood at the temple's entrance, his heart pounding, as if it matched the rhythmic hum of the glowing carvings on the walls. The air here was different, heavier, yet alive with an ancient energy. Taking a deep breath, Zion tightened his grip on the glowing book. This was it, the place where his questions might finally be answered. With both hands pressed firmly against the heavy ancient doors, Zion pushed with all his strength. Slowly, the doors creaked open, revealing a faint, otherworldly light spilling from within. The glow seemed to call to him, pulling him into a world that felt both familiar and utterly unknown. Zion stepped inside, his footsteps echoing softly in the vast chamber. The room was breathtaking. Floating orbs of light illuminated ancient artifacts and glowing patterns that seemed to pulse with life. At the center stood a pedestal, its surface shimmering with an unearthly glow. What secrets could it hold? Slowly, Zion approached the pedestal, his eyes fixed on its shimmering surface. The patterns on it seemed alive, shifting and swirling in response to his presence. As he held the glowing book closer, a faint hum filled the air, growing louder with every step. Something extraordinary was about to happen. With trembling hands, Zion carefully placed the glowing book onto the pedestal. The moment it touched the surface, the patterns exploded with golden light, illuminating the entire chamber. The orbs began to move faster, their glow intensifying as if awakening something ancient and powerful. Zion stepped back, shielding his eyes as a golden beam shot upward from the pedestal. Light swirled around him, and ancient symbols floated in the air, glowing with a mysterious energy. From within the beam, a shadowy figure began to emerge, its presence both magnificent and humbling. The guardian lowered its radiant staff, its glowing form casting a protective aura over Zion. Its voice, deep and resonant, filled the chamber. "You have shown courage, young one. The path you seek is not without trials, but you shall not walk it alone." Zion felt a spark of resolve ignite within him, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Zion's heart raced as the shadow solidified into the form of a majestic guardian, its glowing armor radiating warmth and wisdom. The guardian's eyes, filled with ancient knowledge, met Zion's gaze, and in that moment it felt as though time itself had paused. This was no ordinary being. It was a guide sent to unlock the secrets of the journey ahead. With a wave of its radiant staff, the guardian opened a swirling portal that shimmered with energy. Zion hesitated for only a moment before stepping forward. As he crossed through, the chamber dissolved behind him, and a vibrant, magical forest began to take shape ahead. This was the start of a journey that would forever change his life. Zion stepped into a world like none he had ever seen before. Towering trees with glowing leaves stretched into the sky, and strange mystical creatures darted between the shadows, watching him with curious eyes. The guardian's staff lit the way, guiding Zion deeper into the heart of the magical forest, where untold secrets awaited. As Zion knelt by the stream, the cool, shimmering water seemed to radiate life itself. He leaned closer, noticing his reflection, and there it was, a faint glowing symbol on his forehead, flickering like a hidden message. The guardian's eyes glowed brighter, as if it too had seen the mark and knew its significance. What could it mean? The guardian led Zion deeper into the forest, where they arrived at a towering ancient tree. Pause with intrigue. Its bark shimmered with glowing runes, radiating power and mystery. Softly, "This tree holds the key to understanding your mark," the guardian said, its voice calm yet filled with purpose. Zion felt a mix of wonder and determination as he stepped closer. Zion reached out, his fingers trembling as they touched the glowing runes on the ancient tree. A golden energy flowed into his hand, spreading warmth through his body. The mark on his forehead glowed brighter, and in that moment, he felt connected to something far greater, a power older than time itself. Golden light erupted from the ancient tree, spreading across the forest like ripples in water. Zion stood at the center, his body glowing with newfound power, the mark on his forehead blazing brightly. The guardian looked on, a proud gleam in its eyes. "You are ready, Zion," it said. "Your journey has truly begun." Zion walked forward with a newfound confidence, the energy from the ancient tree still pulsing faintly around him. The guardian walked beside him, its glowing staff lighting their path. "Ahead lies your greatest challenge," the guardian said. Zion took a deep breath, ready to face whatever awaited him. The path led Zion and the guardian to a shadowy cave, its entrance pulsing with a faint, eerie blue glow. "Inside lies the trial," the guardian said, its tone calm but firm. Zion stepped forward, his heart steady, the glow of his mark lighting the darkness ahead. This was the moment he had been preparing for. Zion stepped into the cave, the air cool and heavy with mystery. His glowing mark cast faint light on the jagged walls, where blue crystals pulsed with a steady rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. The guardian's staff illuminated the path ahead, revealing twists and turns shrouded in darkness. Each step took Zion closer to the unknown. As Zion entered the heart of the cavern, he found himself in a vast chamber filled with glowing blue crystals. At the center stood a massive stone altar, humming with an energy that seemed to echo in his chest. "This is the source of the trial," the guardian said, its voice firm. Zion clenched his fists, ready for whatever awaited him. Zion stepped closer to the altar, feeling its energy resonate with the glow of his mark. His hands hovered just above the stone surface as beams of light began to rise, filling the chamber with a radiant glow. The guardian's voice echoed, "Only those with true courage and heart can complete this trial." Zion took a deep breath and placed his hands firmly on the altar. The moment Zion's hands touched the altar, a surge of energy exploded around him. Beams of golden and blue light swirled like a storm, wrapping him in their brilliance. The mark on his forehead burned brighter than ever, and in that instant, Zion felt the weight of the trial. It was a test not just of his strength, but of his heart. The radiant energy swirled one final time before sinking into Zion's body, leaving him glowing with newfound power. He stood taller, his mark shining with a brilliance that reflected the strength within. The guardian stepped forward, its voice warm. "You have passed, Zion. You now carry the legacy of those who came before you." Zion emerged from the cavern, the weight of the trial replaced by a newfound strength and purpose. The forest greeted him like an old friend, its vibrant beauty more alive than ever. The guardian's staff glowed softly as it spoke. "Your journey isn't over, Zion. This is only the beginning of your destiny." Zion gazed out at the horizon, where a towering mountain shrouded in mist loomed in the distance. The faint pulsing of his mark reminded him that his journey was far from over. The guardian spoke, its voice calm but purposeful. "That mountain holds the answers you seek. It will test your will like nothing before." Zion nodded, ready to face the unknown. Zion and the guardian journeyed across the vibrant meadow, the golden grasses swaying gently in the breeze. Above them, glowing birds soared gracefully, their song echoing through the air like a call to adventure. The mountain in the distance grew closer with each step, a silent reminder of the challenges yet to come. But Zion walked on, his heart filled with courage. At last, Zion stood at the base of the mountain, the mist curling around him like a living presence. The rocky path leading upward seemed endless, yet a faint golden light at the summit called to him, urging him forward. "Your greatest test lies ahead," the guardian said, its voice steady. Zion nodded, ready to climb toward his destiny. With each step, the path grew steeper and the air heavier, yet Zion pressed on. His mark glowed brighter, urging him forward even as the mountain seemed to push back. The guardian's staff lit the way, its presence a constant reminder that Zion was not alone in this climb. He knew the summit held the answers he sought, and he wouldn't stop until he reached it. At long last, Zion stood at the summit, the wind carrying whispers of ancient voices. Before him floated the glowing relic, its light resonating with the mark on his forehead. The guardian's voice was steady, but filled with pride. "You have done it, Zion. You've proven your strength, your courage, and your heart. This is your legacy." Zion reached out, ready to claim his destiny.